Yo, make sure to like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, then you have the best luck of your life.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Alright, so in today's video, I pretty much just go over my own solo arena gameplay. I give tips on how to win more fights and how to stay more consistent, which can lead to winning way more arena games. If you guys end up liking the video at any time, make sure to drop a like on this video because it really does help me get into recommendation. One more thing before I go, guys, is make sure to use code TheSilentOne in the Fortnite item shop, spelled exactly like this on the screen. Alright, that's pretty much it, guys. Enjoy the video. Love y'all. Alright, so the first thing I always do is when I'm gliding into my drop spot, I'm always going to look for a llama. So I wind up turning to my left, and I notice there's a llama on the hill. Before I go for it, I make sure no one else is near it. Once I'm confirmed that no one is going for it, then I decide to go for it. I notice that there's a player to my left at the slurp truck, and I know that there is no gun near the slurp truck, so if I can get this llama and then get a gun from the gas station, I can easily get a free kill. As I'm breaking the llama, I keep an eye on my enemy to see where he goes. I notice he goes straight south, and I know that there's a chest on top of a hill south. So I wind up using a jump pad and a pepper, and I catch up to him, just because I know where he's at. I know he has no mats, and he's completely unaware of me, so it's really easy for me to get some free shots off of him. I wind up tagging him for like 60 total, and I know he doesn't have that much mats. Try to use a bounce pad to waste his mats. He winds up jumping on the bounce pad and I get some free tags on him. And at that point it's pretty much over. He has nothing left and he's one shot, so it's a GG's for him. I heard some nearby shots near the apple farm, so I start crouching up and I see a player. He starts building on top of the house. Since he didn't see me, I just continue to crouch and walk up. I keep my SMG out just because I know it'll do more damage than a white tack. And I wind up getting an easy beam and crack all his shield. At this point, it's just whoever hits their shots, so I notice he has no mats, so it's over for him. Right here, I'm boxed up and I go out of the box. I see a player behind a tree, so I make sure to build a staircase, just so I don't get sniped if he has a sniper. As I push forward, I keep hide. If you can keep hide during fights, it's so much easier to win them. Right here, I thought I heard 2 people, but it was just one. He starts building up and he cones me, but he winds up coning himself. I put flats to the side just so I can block him off. He breaks me down and takes height, so immediately I just box up. Try to build up and fake some ramps just so I can knock him down, but he winds up doing that himself. Since he jumps down, we wind up trading shots. Even though I have health advantage now, I box up just because I need to take that extra mini because I don't want to risk anything. Always heal up, guys. He winds up throwing nades, so I start going down, and he kills himself from fall damage. I don't know what he was doing, but okay, I'll take the free kill. Right here, a player is trying to get a supply drop, and I wind up getting a beam on him because he's trying to open up the crate. I immediately take height and place my own cones. Right here, I go to the side of his wall, and a lot of players will make an edit on you, so I pre-fire him and I crack his shield. If you can get the pre-fire timing down during fights when you're box fighting, it can help you in almost every single one of your fights. Right here, he starts getting third parties, so I continue to aggro him. I notice that there's a pre-edited wall, so I break the wood wall, and he can't build, so we wind up getting into a 50-50 battle, but since I have more health, I win the fight. As soon as I kill him, I immediately start boxing up. Just because there's another player pushing in and I don't have that much health yet. I ignore the supply drop just because I'd rather get my health off and be safe than risk it for the supply drop. If you already have decent loot, always heal up before you go into your next fight. Don't be greedy and risk it for loot, because a lot of players get really greedy with loot and they wind up dying. So make sure you prioritize your health first over loot. I noticed 2 players are fighting right here and they wind up finishing the fight. So I immediately try to take this guy's wall. I don't take it the first try and I already know he's gonna make an edit out, so I start charging my pump. I get a free charge pump on him and I just SMG him to death. If you can read your opponents, you can end fights just like that. Over time, the more fights you get into, the easier it'll get for you to read your opponents. Right here, I'm boxing up building out a hard match. Always build out a hard match if you have them, especially in endgame. If you build out a wood endgame, it makes you look like you have no mats or if you're in shambles. So always build out a hard match if you can afford it. Right here, I decided to go into the attic. I think, okay, maybe if a player runs into the house, they won't know I'm up there, so I can easily get a free kill or shot off on them. So I decided to camp up here for a bit, just until zone closes. Prior to zone closes, I notice that it goes my way, so immediately I start taking all the walls around me, just making them mine. I make sure to break every wall with the window because I do not want to get naded, RPG'd, or even shot through it. I box out one more, just so I can have more room to work with. I notice a player boxes up right next to me, and I already know he's gonna break the wall, so I start holding it. Unfortunately though, I mess up my edit, and I can't place the cone in this box, and he winds up editing through the top, but it's okay. So now zone starts moving, and I decide to just focus on where zone is at. I edit out and start placing staircases over my back, just because the walls around me are not mine. I find a jump pad that someone just used, so I decided to make it my own and flat launch with it. And this saves my jump pad so I can use it later on. As soon as I get into the zone, I box up and look back into the zone while people are rotating. If you're one of the first people to box up in zone, always look back. You never know, you might be able to get some free kills. Right here, a player gets knocked down in front of me. I try to box him, but unfortunately he gets through it. I notice a player is boxed up next to me and he's getting sprayed at, so I make an edit and I start spraying at him and I get a free kill. I decide to drop my AR for floppers, just because I know I need to tank storm a little bit. I start making my way back into zone, blocking off all corners, and I place a jump pad. As soon as I get into zone, I box up and I eat a flopper. Always be aware of what's going on around you, especially an endgame like this. Right here, I'm just looking at where all my opponents are. The zone starts coming in, so I start tarping the zone. I know I don't have the best mechanics, but if you have decent mechanics that work for you, then you should be good. Once I box up, I see a player who has no mast and he's just running around, so I make an edit and tag him for 65. Unfortunately though, height shockwaves me into storm, but I'm able to make it back in. As soon as I get in, I run into the same exact player and I get a kill on him. I fall down below another player, so I place a staircase behind me, just blocking me off from him. He doesn't know I'm there, so I make an edit on the staircase and get a kill. If you're underneath someone's builds, always place a staircase over your back. Just in case they edit down on you, they won't be able to shoot you. I know the player in height has shockwave grenades, so immediately I start covering myself. Because if I get shockwave into storm, that can be the end of me. So I just make sure to keep on tarping into zone, and once I get into zone, I just sit there, just so I can wait to see where the next zone's gonna be. Zone starts pulling west, so I go around and take some storm damage, just so I can be safe. I make sure to block off height because I know someone's above me. I know there's two players below me, so I decide to go as far as I can to the next zone. Since I'm ahead of everybody, it allows me to look back and get a free kill. As the players on height are fighting, I decide to go for the loot. Since the players above me are fighting, I decide to grab all the mats I can hold. I notice the player above me grapples and is gliding, so I use that to my advantage. I get a free pump off on him, and I finish him off with my SMG. I decide to block off height, and I grab the mats that I got the kill from. Immediately, I start putting pressure on height, just because I figured that he has no mats. He was build fighting another player, so he probably doesn't have that much. Shockwaves up, and I start charging my pump and get a shot off on him. I immediately take height and start chug splashing, just because the more health I have, the better. Shockwaves up again, I box up, he winds up getting into my box, and right here, I already know I have health advantage, so I wait for him to make an edit play on me. Since he has low health, he plays aggressive, and I wind up winning the fight because of that. In that situation, I know a lot of players would panic and lose that fight. As long as you're confident, and you stay calm, you can easily win so much fights. Yo, okay, so if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and comment down below if I should do any other tips and tricks videos. Also, if the Renegade Ritter comes out today, I might be doing a double upload. I don't know, I've never done that, but I might be doing it. We'll see. That's pretty much it, guys. Love y'all. Peace.